started off by doing my foundation, which I've already done off camera. I used the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation in the number 128. Next, I'm using my concealer, and this is the yellow concealer I'm using to highlight my face, which I really love doing. Next, I'm applying the color Cream Beige on top of my yellow concealer with a Morphe brush. Next, to blend my concealer, I'm using an Ulta blending sponge, which I have pre-dampened. I'm just patting it on my face, and I'm not rubbing it like always. To set the under eye, I'm using the LA Colors contour powder. I'm using the banana shade, and I'm applying it with a Morphe brush. And to set the rest of my face, I decided to use these two colors with an e.l.f. stippling brush. I'm just applying it all over my face, which I actually thought it was a little bit more white than I wanted to, but I stuck with it, and I actually didn't turn out that bad. Moving on to bronzer, I'm using the LA Colors bronzer in the color Bronze. I'm applying it with a Wet n Wild stippling brush. I actually did like this bronzer. It looks very, very pretty. It didn't look patchy at all. To contour my face, I'm using this Coolest Tone contour palette color. I'm applying it with a Wet n Wild angled brush. To highlight my face, I'm using this shimmery shade in the palette. I'm applying it with a Morphe fluffy brush. I actually felt that this shade was a little bit too light for me. I actually like shades that have a little bit more of golden undertones to them, but I actually just went with it, and I ended up applying it everywhere that I normally highlight my face. Because I wasn't feeling the lightest shade of the highlight I just applied, I decided to use an eyeshadow which has yellow undertones to it, and I actually did like how it looked. Moving on to blush, I'm using the color Toast with a Wet n Wild angled brush, and I'm just applying it to the apples of my cheeks. Moving on to the eyes, to prime my eyelids, I'm using my LA Colors concealer in the color Creamy Beige, and I'm blending it out with my damp beauty blender. And to set my concealer, I'm using this shade, and I'm applying it with my Morphe brush. Then I had the craziest idea that I wanted my contour to pop a bit more, so I decided to apply that shade, and I actually applied it with a damp beauty blender. And guess what? I actually regretted it a bit because I felt that it looked too white afterwards. Moving on to eyeshadows, I'm using the LA Colors matte eyeshadow palette, and this is the brown Tweed. I'm applying the second to the lightest shade in the palette. Then I'm applying the middle shade, and this is my transition color. I'm applying it with a Morphe brush. Next, I'm applying this brown chocolate color. I'm applying it on my outer V with a Morphe blending brush. And I'm slowly building it up, and I'm using windshield wiper motions and circular motions. And for the start of the show, I'm using the LA Colors 3-color eyeshadow palette, and this one is the Sunflower palette. I'm using the middle shade, which is my burnt orange color, which looks so pretty, and it was super pigmented as well. I loved how this eyeshadow looked. And for only 99 cents, I felt like it really did have a lot of payoff. Then I decided that I wanted to give it a little pop of like gold in the middle, and I decided to go in with my finger, which I just packed it, and then I actually went ahead and blended it out. And I actually forgot to mention what brushes I'm using, but I'll leave them in the description box below. To give this look a little bit more depth, I'm using the brown shade and the black shade to mix together. I'm applying it with a Morphe fluffy brush, and as you see, I'm just slowly packing it to my outer V. I'm slowly bringing it out a bit, not too much, because the colors are very pigmented in this palette, so you have to be very careful and blend them very well. For my lower lashes, I'm applying the middle shade, then I'm applying the brown shade as well to my lower lashes. For my wing liner, I'm using the LA Colors Line Art Matte Eyeliner. This one has a felt tip, which I actually did not like, even though I did like that the color is very matte. It kind of dries up, and it was very, very hard for me to create my wing liner. That's why then I decided to actually use another LA Colors liquid eyeliner. This one is more of an eyeliner that's not matte. I didn't like that part, but I actually made it a lot easier for me to create my wing liner. To highlight my brow bone, I'm using this shimmery shade in the palette with a Wet n Wild small concealer brush. To highlight my tear duct area, I'm using the Sunflower palette and I'm using the golden shade. I'm applying it with a Morphe brush. And on top of it, I'm using the shimmery shade in this palette and I'm using the same Morphe brush. For mascara, I'm using the LA Colors Bold Lash Mascara. I'm applying 2 coats to my upper and lower lashes. For falsies, I'm using the Creme Shop falsies, and these are very inexpensive. I only paid $1 for them. These are the wispies, and I use my dual adhesive to apply them. Next, I'm using the LA Colors Gel Eyeliner. This one is very, very black and waterproof, and I'm only using it to tight line. Finally, for the lips, I use the LA Colors Matte Liquid Lipstick, and this one is in the color Fleur. And that was everything for today. Don't forget to thumbs up this video for more videos like this. I'll leave all the details of everything I used down in the description box below. Don't forget to leave your comments of what you thought about this tutorial, and see you guys next time.